see how living life as Yagna can change the entire world. Imagine if every single person had this energy, no matter what they did in life. The whole world would change. Those who enjoy what is given to them without making offerings in return are verily thieves. You know, I'm feeling really elated and happy today. I just came back from my weekly Advaita classes. After the last couple of weeks of Advaita lessons, I started doing this tiny little practice every single day, and I've done it for about 10 days now. And it is very gradually shifting my entire state of being and my entire experience of life. I'm so pleasantly surprised and so excited by this. You know, I always used to hear people say, just be grateful, just have gratitude, and I hated it. Like, what do you know about my life? I'm going to choose to be pissed off because nothing's working out the way that I wanted to. This chapter of the Bhagavad Gita has literally shifted me out of that vibe into a whole other dimension of joy, ecstasy, passion, energy, and gratitude. And I finally get it, you guys. I finally understand the power of gratitude in our lives. In this video, we're going to go into detail on the verse that is changing my life. And we're going to cover three things. Number one, we're going to discuss the concept of deity worship and why we do this. Number two, we're going to talk about Yagna, specifically living life as Yagna. And number three, we're going to pull it all together. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to share with you the simple practice that I started doing after going deep into this verse. Let's do this. Chapter 3 is all about karma yoga. So how do you surrender all of your actions and everything that you do to God? What would happen if I make this video for Krishna? Oh my God, I would have to make it the most amazing, joyful, beautiful video ever. See how my entire state shifted, because now this video isn't for me. It isn't for me to get views or for me to grow my YouTube channel. It's for Krishna. When we think of Yagna, we think of the ancient Vedic time. Many priests and sages and maybe kings and queens sitting together and performing an Agni-based Yagna, sitting around the fire, and they're making offerings to God. And yes, that is a meaning of Yagna. But what we learned a couple of weeks ago was actually a very multi-dimensional, much more nuanced understanding of this concept of Yagna. Yagna is a way of life. The concept of Yagna is to be able to offer whatever you do toward a higher purpose, a higher consciousness, God. You can essentially live your entire life as a Yagna, as an offering. So in verse 12, I'm going to read it out to you in Sanskrit. Ishtan bhogan hivo deva dasyante yagnya bhavitaha tair dattan apradayebhyo yo bhunkte stena eva saha. Nailed it. Translation of this verse. The celestial gods, Deva, being satisfied by the performance of sacrifice or yagna, will grant you all the desired necessities of life. But those who enjoy what is given to them without making offerings in return are verily thieves. So Krishna is saying this, right? So when I first heard this verse, I was like, yo, Krishna's not like that. Like, he doesn't like condemn people like, oh, you a thief. Oh, if you do this, you're like, that's not Krishna's vibe. So I wanted to understand and dig deeper into this verse and understand why he said it the way he said it. So there's several layers to this verse. When this verse refers to the concept of deities or devas, what it is referring to is the fact that for us to simply exist in this moment, for me to simply be here in this moment and hold this coffee here in Vietnam, so many forces of nature needed to come together in the most perfect, beautiful way to produce this one moment. We are living here as human beings on rent. I'm using up these resources that nature has given us. Number one, we forget that. We kind of walk through life, feel like as a human being, I'm entitled to all of this. I'm here to conquer nature. I'm here to take, and never give back in return. That was never how the ancients understood the world and understood how we should relate to the world, especially from an Advaita perspective. What is this concept of deities? Like in Advaita, everything is just one. Why are we not just saying like, okay, thank you Brahman, thank you the single consciousness for facilitating existence, thanks. When we associate each force of nature with a deity, what it does for us is it actually personifies a largely impersonal and omnipresent Brahman or God. Being able to see the deity that presides over each of these different forces of nature enables us to connect with that omnipresent, impersonal force of nature in a much more human way. It is easier for me to say thank you to Surya Brahma, to the God of the sun, than to the sun itself, right? And I was thinking about this yesterday. As a culture in Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma, we see the deity within the force of nature. Another example is rivers, river systems. Think of the river Ganga. We don't just see the Ganga River, a waterway for us to go and extract water from, overdevelop and destroy. Why? Because we see the deity within that river, right? Ganga Ma, she's a goddess. She's like our mother. How do we then treat that river? Do we go and overdevelop it? Do we go and deplete it? Maybe that's what's happening now. But originally, no. If I lived next to Ganga Ma, I would wake up every morning and I would pray to her. I would honor her. I would protect her. I would take care of her because she's my mother. So in this way, when we deify different forces of nature, it helps us as humans to respect that force more. It helps us as humans to connect deeply in a personal way with that force. And in the process of deifying forces of nature, different aspects of reality, we start to see the God in everything. And seeing God in everything is Advaita. So this is how, even through deity worship, even through bhakti yoga, you can still be a practicing Advaitin without us even asking. All of these forces keep us alive. If we just take and take and take, as we do in the modern post-colonial, post-industrialization world, without even then taking a moment to say thank you, right? And this is the crux of this verse. Oh, I'm just gonna wake up in the morning. Yeah, cool. All right, yeah, I'm gonna eat. Yeah, I'm just gonna go drink some water because I can. I'm just gonna go live in my fancy apartment. Like, yeah, cool. What do I want to do for me today? Yeah, okay. Oh, that's a very disconnected way of living, right? That's a very disconnected, individualistic way to live life. That approach is as far from Advaita as you can possibly get. We're asking for yagna, an offering back to these forces, as simple as gratitude, as simple as thank you to all of these forces, thank you to all of these devis and devatas who keep me alive on a daily basis. Thank you. First step. Second step, what can I offer to you? If we don't do that and we just take and take and take, in that situation, we become thieves. That's what Krishna is saying. You become a thief. What a beautiful verse, you guys. So many layers to it. I don't even think I've fully explored this verse. When you truly do sit with a verse like this and absorb it into your heart and soul and then apply it, spirituality is only powerful when it is applied, when action is taken. Because when that action is taken through this higher perspective, through the song of God, the Bhagavad-Gita, through the instructions that literally Krishna gave us, life changes. And that's what happened to me the last 10 days. I'm about to dig into this banana crepe, but not before I say thank you and offer it back to Krishna. When everything we do becomes an offering to Krishna, to God, to higher consciousness, there's a shift in the way we do it. Perhaps you might have noticed when I first started this video, there was a little bit of that anxious energy in me because I was very attached to the results of what this video was going to give me. And this video is for my YouTube channel. I hope it gets lots of views because then I know that those views will make me feel better about myself. I was filming it for my ego. And then the moment I said this video is for Krishna, did you see how I light up when I say that? Oh crap, this is for Krishna? Oh damn, like this needs to be the best video ever. Not for me, but for Madhav, for Krishna. This needs to be amazing. So there's a whole joy and a flow and an energy and a passion and a beauty of creation that comes up when you offer anything you do to Krishna, to God, to that higher consciousness, what would happen if everything you did from the moment you woke up in the morning to the moment you go to sleep, everything you did, every action you took, you did it as a yagna, as an offering to God. What I started to do, right? So let me tell you this, because this is so dope. I never thought a simple practice like this would be so life-changing. There's something that my teacher said that really stood out to me. He was like, when someone puts a plate of food in front of you, do you take a moment to honor every being that perished for that plate of food to exist? The farmer who toiled out there in the sun. Did you take a moment to honor Mahalakshmi for giving you the money to be able to afford this food? Did you take a moment to acknowledge every deity, every aspect of creation that came together in this moment to give you this plate of food that sits in front of you? Or did you just straight away, food arrives, like a dog? That's literally what he said. That's what dogs do. You put a plate of food in front of them. They don't even take a moment. They just go straight in and go, like just, right? Are you a dog? Are you a dog? No, brother. No, you aren't. We're trying to be the opposite. God, wordplay. This is the privilege of being born as a human being, is that we can bring awareness and an entire level of consciousness to everything we do. There is something about that analogy that bothered me. Like, I am lucky and blessed enough to have been born as a human being in this lifetime. I am blessed enough that I was born in a family that from day one used the word of Krishna, used Krishna's name around me. So much had to fall into place for me to be this person and for me to be at this at this stage of my spiritual journey. So the process of yagna is basically you saying, holy crap, everything that I experience in a day is a miracle. And I'm just going to ignore that and just go through the motions, go through life on autopilot, stuck in my mind, like, okay, food, yeah, okay, filming, okay, next, okay. Like, no. Yagna is bringing consciousness to every single thing you do in your beautiful life and taking that thing and saying, thank you, God, for this. Thank you, God, for this beautiful camera, for this apartment, for this body, for this voice, for this moment. Thank you. Thank you so much for this meal. So many people had to come together to put this together just so I can eat this and live. Thank you so much. Krishna, this meal is for you. In Yagna, two things happen. First is a shift to gratitude. Those two words, thank you, shifts me out of unconsciousness into presence, into humility, into gratitude, into thank you. And then from that space, you take the thing and you say, here you go, Krishna. And when you do that, everything becomes spiritual. This video just became spiritual. The last 10 days has been like this, you guys. Any meal that someone placed in front of me, before I was just like shoving it into my face, I actually took a moment. I think I just smudged my lipstick when I did that, but I have to demonstrate. I would actually take a moment and I'd be like, thank you. And the moment I did that, I landed right back into the present moment. I'm completely engaged with what's going on. Hey, Krish, this one's for you. You take the first bite. I love you. And then I say the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then I come back and then I'm eating. And suddenly eating just isn't eating anymore. Eating is ecstasy and joy and presence and love and gratitude. And even if I was going through the roughest day, like last week, I had a really rough day. I booked an Airbnb that literally looked like a haunted mansion. I hated it. You know when you just walk in and you're like, oh, the vibe is off. Probably a couple of demons hidden somewhere over here. I need a GTFO. And I was alone in Saigon. It was at like 9 p.m. I had to sleep there that night. Airbnb wasn't helping. And I was feeling so anxious and worried, like, oh my God, I hate that room so much. I hate that apartment so much. Am I going to make it through the night? Like, that was happening in my mind. I sat down, went and ordered Indian food, as you do when you're sad, right? The food arrived and I'm like, oh my God, I hope the apartment's going to be okay. Okay, the food's here. Oh, wait a minute. Thank you, Krishna, for this dal and rice. Thank you, Krishna, for this dal and rice. Here you go, Krishna. You have the first bite. Okay. Wait a minute. I'm okay. I can eat. Okay. All right. We can solve this Airbnb thing. This is a tiny issue. I can handle this. I'm good. I'm going to solve this problem. This isn't a bad day. This is just a minor hiccup. Do you see how Yagna literally just shifts your entire experience of life, no matter what you're going through? If you can take a moment to perform this offering, this ritual, every time you eat, and then extend that to every time you do anything, your entire experience of life shifts from, I guess it's just life, into, thank you. Holy shit, this is a miracle. Here you go, Krish. This one's for you. Oh, damn, it's for Krishna? Oh my God, this needs to be ecstatic. Like, do you see how living life as Yagna can change the entire world? Do you see? Like, imagine if every single person had this energy, no matter what they did in life. The whole world would change. You're just dancing to Krishna's flute inside everywhere you go. And essentially, I'm just going to link this back to Advaita before I wrap up. You are starting to see God in everything. And if you continue to live your life as Yagna, as an offering to God, the state or the vibrational frequency you're going to be at on a daily basis, super high. You start seeing God everywhere. You're like, okay, yep, this floor is God, this apartment is God, the hair, like God is in everything. God is in everything. And what a joy. And from this space, you are just being done. You don't have to do anything. I don't have to go film to filming, putting, so hard. Like none of that. It is just being done through me. Right? Because you're already approaching levels of being one with creation, being one with creative energy, being one with God. That, my friends, is what my last 10 days have been like, living life as Yagna. I love you so much. I just want to say thank you for being here. I challenge you for the next 7 days to do this for just one meal a day. Just watch how this one practice changes your entire experience of life and your level of consciousness. It is insane. Okay? Oh, thank you so much for this opportunity to share my quirky, crazy, spiritual nature with you. I love you. Mwah. More to come. I will see you in the next one. Hare Krishna.